hates me, and I don't know how to play the ukulele, so I'm gonna talk like a normal person. Okay, some context may be required. Or actually probably not. A lot of you have heard of Colleen Ballinger. She goes by Miranda Sings as her character online sometimes, and she's in some hot water. A lot of accusations have come out and she's finally addressed it in, I think, the worst way possible. One of my biggest pet peeves is when someone starts an apology video, I guess, so whatever, I don't even want to call that an apology video. Like, that is this video that she made, not an apology video. People keep saying it's the worst apology video ever. It's such a bad apology video. I'm saying this is not a bad apology video. It's not an apology video at all. Anyway, when YouTubers who start something like this take like a ridiculous pause at the beginning and they look really sad before they start, like, the dramatization makes the sincerity just for me. It just ain't there. It's not working. And she's no stranger to bad apology videos. She had a bit in one of her live shows where she pulled someone up with a "I'm sorry" YouTube thing around them to make fun of how bad apology videos are.
You can't actually apologize. Oh, that person you saw, that wasn't me. I don't even know who that is anymore.
So she basically addresses all these accusations, serious accusations by the way, against her in song. And I'm gonna watch that entire video and react to it. My husband has been asking me for a long time to make a video about all the Colleen stuff. I've been getting comments for a long time saying I should do the same thing. And then David was like, she came out with a apology video. It's really good. So I watched it thinking, oh wow, maybe she'll like redeem herself, because I, even though I hadn't talked about it, have been keeping up. And maybe I'm out of the loop here, but I thought it was freaking horrible. Like, no accountability. Yeah. We'll get into it. I always hate when I watch a video like this and I actually don't know who the person is that they're talking about, and I don't know the context, I don't know the history, so I'm gonna give the most brief summary of all the shit she's done so that I can patch it together for you. But I also don't want to take up too much of your time here because I feel like most people have heard about this, but I don't want to leave those of you out of the loop who just watch my videos when I bitch about religion, because this has nothing to do with that. So she's been on the internet a long time. She had a group chat called Colleenie's Weenies. That is what it is. Where there were a bunch of really young kids, like 13-ish in there, that would comment things. One of them's name was Adam. He's actually come out with a lot of videos. I suggest you go and watch those because I don't want to sit here and tell too much of his story. He obviously does it better than I could. I feel so terrible for all the things that he went through. In one of the chats, he posted that he was having like his butt looked good that day, or having a nice butt day. I don't remember. I saw these things and I've tried really hard to burn them out of my brain because it's just so weird and messed up. But her response to that was like, send me pictures, which he was 13 at the time. So she also asked the group things like, what's your favorite position? And tell me your thoughts when you first got your period and stuff like that. Asking them if they were virgins, like things you probably shouldn't say to a group of children. She sent them a video of her inserting a tampon into her mouth and asked them to all reply with a video of them doing the same. Just really strange. Like, I don't know why. It seems like a lot of things that she does involves talking about menstruation. There's like a weird obsession there with periods. And then she would send messages to Adam, who I mentioned before, talking about like details of her marriage and things that you just really shouldn't share with, honestly, any fan. You know, it's just, you don't want to do that. You don't want that stuff to get back on the internet, which clearly it has. But especially since someone is underage, they can't process that or have the capacity to like truly understand what that's like because they're not an adult. She had a bit on stage at her live show where she would take a knife and point at fans' outfits, who, by the way, she instructed to wear like scantily clad things to her shows because she wanted to call them up on stage for this bit. So, you know, she was encouraging kids to just dress. Anyway, this is so tight, we can see the entire shape of the badonkadonk. So she would pull fans on stage dressed like her and say, well, that's appropriate, and this over here is porn. Like, that was the joke.
It's porn! This is porn! This is porn!
She had a skit where she pulled a fan on stage and spread her legs open as like some sort of yoga thing, and when she did that, it went, okay, it's a fart joke, and we'll get into that again later. That made this fan, I mean, clearly feel very uncomfortable. I would have felt uncomfortable as well. Like, where are these kids' parents? You know, that's what I want to know. If I took my kid to the show and that was my daughter on stage like that, I would lose my shit. As much blame as we want to put on Colleen for this, and she deserves it, I really just keep thinking, like, where are the friggin' parents of these kids? That girl that was called up on stage made several videos talking about how she felt violated. She tweeted saying, "I'm so sick of people being okay with calling Colleen out, but then stopping when it comes to using certain terminology. It's okay to call her a groomer and a predator because that's what she is. Normal people don't do what she does to children." The whole bit here was that I farted while I was in this position, which is one, really childish, and two, fucking embarrassing when you're already in a vulnerable position. I was only a teenager here, and you can see that I had to stop and cover myself up before I even stood up. Another controversial bit she did was when she had a kid up on stage and she had like snacks in her pants, and she would have the kids like reach into her pants.
And so now, watch this. We're on the date, James. It's really romantic. Oh, we're getting close and personal. Oh, but I'm so hungry, James. Hold on, I got a snack. Do you want a cheese ball?
I'd love one. I can't believe I'm reaching in there right now.
So immediately here, you hear parents like cackling in the background, like that's the funniest shit they've ever seen, which just red flags, just throwing all of them. Then there was a stream where she gave away underwear and a bra. I guess they were unused. She gave them to, again, Adam.
He said, "Hi, you have ugly clothes, but I want those ratchet panties and bras signed by Corey because he modeled them well."
Yeah! It was so ridiculous and funny, we laughed about it, and I forgot to send them to him. And eventually he tweeted me asking me for them again. I sent them to him. He put them on over his clothes and posted about them. It was like a big joke within the fandom. I did this publicly. That live stream is still up right now. And I've always given out weird random things in live streams. I've given out a taco costume. I've given out old bobby pins, dirty shoes.
Okay, so this, I will say that at least they weren't used. That would be a huge problem, but still you shouldn't be sending lingerie. Like if I were, again, a parent and my son came in with lingerie from some girl he watched online that was twice his age, I would be livid. And granted, like I have myself sent weird things to people from live streams. I know I've given away like cat toys because one time I got a sponsorship from cat toys and I had way too many for my 2 cats at the time. Now I have like 5,000. That's fine. Follow me on Instagram. I'm giving away kittens. Please, somebody adopt these kittens. I cannot have this many cats in my house. Anyway, I gave away cat toys. When I was pregnant, I was gifted a bunch of formula, but since I breastfed, I gave away all the formula that I had been given to somebody who said they were a mom, that they needed it because there was a formula shortage. So I've given away random things. But I have like had the common sense to not send certain things out to people. Like, for example, now to all my friends and people I know in real life, this is not true for you. I absolutely try to give you sex toys. But as you guys know, I do Adam and Eve unboxings all of the time. I will leave a link. I have an entire channel dedicated to opening boxes of stuff that I get from Adam and Eve. And I, don't need that many, so I give them away to people. And before people have said, why don't you give them away to fans? And I was just like, I can't prove that these are adults. I wish I could. I just don't feel right about it. Like, I give you guys the code. I mean, this is not even a sponsored video, but I feel like I've already said enough that if you use my code Jaclyn, Jaclyn, at checkout, if you go to adamandeve.com, you can get 50% off any one item and free shipping. So while I can't give you the items myself, I can give you a code that you get it half free anyway, and they make sure you're 18. So granted, that'd be far worse than unused lingerie. But regardless, use common sense. If you don't like your panties and underwear, just donate them. Give it to Goodwill. Sell it to someone on OnlyFans. Make that account if you really feel the need to give it away. To a fan, I guess you could. I mean, it is only for fans. I need to move on. Again, she's not like new to making really inappropriate comments about sexual things. I'll just play this clip that's been circulating.
There are leaks all over my house right now. Brand new house, by the way. And every time it rains, it leaks. Just like a teenage girl's.
I don't know why someone would think that that's funny. Like, to me, that is just gross and like uncomfy. Like, I cringe sitting here listening to it. I can't imagine saying something like that and being like, yeah, I'm gonna post that on the internet. And then I came across this piece of information on TikTok. Now, I actually didn't know that Colleen, as Miranda Sings, had this running joke about her uncle being a P word. I didn't, like, that to me was shocking because this character has been going on for years and years, like over 10 years. So like, Why hasn't this been called out before now, I guess is my question. Like, why? I mean, I literally never knew that she had this weird running joke about being molested, basically. Like, I don't know how anybody would think that that's funny. And yes, she markets herself as PG-13, but do you really want 13-year-old kids, 14, 15, like thinking that it's okay for like a member of your family to touch you inappropriately? Like, is that ever funny?
The thing about Miranda Sings that has always stuck with me, the thing that made me so uncomfy even as a child that it is still seared into my brain, is the running joke that Miranda's uncle is a P word that M-words her repeatedly.
Let's go through some old tweets, shall we? My uncle just bought me new panties at JCPenney. Yeah, right. Oh, are those the ones you gave away? Uncle Jim woke me up with cuddles today. You know what that means. It's time for breakfast. My uncle just bought me more panties. They are too big on me, so he's going to keep them. My uncle always touches my hair, so it gets wetter when it's late at night because he always did it when I thought he said to, but okay, I'm hungry. My uncle just said he loves the smell of bathrooms after a lady goes tinkles. He always says the best jokes. Where have I been that I didn't know this was like the thing for her? Like, she's clearly never been for kids. And sure, you can say you're PG-13, but like I said before, I don't really want my 13-year-old one day seeing somebody saying jokes like that or making it normalized. I mean, imagine if you were a kid that was struggling with someone being inappropriate, or even more specifically, if it was like an uncle type of situation, and then you see somebody on the internet making a big joke about it. Like, that's trauma. I will give you, this has been going on for a long time, and I hate to sound like an ancient, very, very old human, which sometimes I think maybe I am. Times are not what they used to be. Even if you watch movies from like 15 years ago, those things would not fly nowadays. But back in my day when I was in like high school, things were very, very different. Like, I started my YouTube channel. I've been around here a while, not quite as long as her, but I did start back in 2011, and things were very, very different there. Like, Shane Dawson has been canceled for a lot of the previous things he did. Jenna Marbles, bless her soul, has come out and acknowledged some of her past things that are obviously not okay these days. And I think some of like the Miranda Sings style jokes, you know, used to be funny to a lot of people, and now it's like there's the awareness to be like, oh shit, no, that's kind of messed up. I do think it never should have been okay, but at the same time, she is famous because of this character, and this character has always been this way. To build someone up and basically make them famous because you think this weird fucking content is funny and then cancel them for it, well, it's not for that. But if it were just for that, I would have a little bit of an issue because, I mean, this is always what she's been. Why is it now like shocking? But there has been so many other things. Like, I just cannot get past the DMs and messages to fans. That's just not okay. We'll get to that more in her apology because she talks about it and totally dismisses it, but she goes over that, and we'll go into more detail. Just in retrospect, thinking of like all the kids watching her content and seeing these things sort of normalized, I really just hope everyone's okay. Because like mental health and the internet, that's a thing, you know? Tech is destroying mental health even now, and I do think we need like global solutions. Everyone needs to take a step back, parents included, and like reassess your relationship to the internet, your kids' relationship to the internet. Really pay attention to what they're watching. But for some of us older people out here, it's not just something that you can walk away from. It's not like a snack food that you can decide to eat less of, or a bad relationship that you can walk away from. Even though it's difficult, you can do it. But the internet for some of us is our job. It's not so easy to just, you know, ignore it and walk away. And even myself, I have struggled sometimes with my mental well-being as a result of feeling the need to constantly immerse myself in bullshit that just, it drags you down. Some interesting numbers: 36% of millennials say they spend 2 or more hours a day per workday looking at their phones for social media, texting friends, or playing games. In the age range of 18 to 29, 22% of people with a smartphone admit to checking it every few minutes. That is absolutely, in my opinion, it feels like an addiction. And I relate. Rather than in person, 33% of teens spend more time socializing online than in person. And even when they do hang out with their friends, 52% of teens sit there in silence, just staring at their phones. And even adults, though, we're not immune to this. We spend 45 minutes a day on social media. For me, it's much higher, but then I use the excuse that it's my job. Not that everything I do is for my job, but it's research. There just does need to be some kind of solution. It's worth mentioning and talking about, and it can't just happen at an individual level. The users, the content creators, the parents. You hear me out there, parents?
Yes, I hear you, Jacqueline.
better rules that hold platforms accountable for the harm that they can create. There's a lot of proposals out there. I'll link one below, but it is true that a lot of these places are just focused on the algorithm and what's going to make them the most money. And even though some of this more crude humor, which I really struggle to even call humor, was somewhat a sign of the times, this has just been going on so long, and even up till recently, where there's like clips of Miranda talking about the uncle thing in the Netflix show that came out. So that means this is supported by Netflix. Netflix sees this running molestation joke and they're like, yeah, that works on our platform. Accountability, guys. We need more accountability on these platforms. We just do. So this TikToker that I showed briefly before compiled a bunch of these clips, and I'm just gonna play a few of them for you now.
So my uncle is one of my best friends, and we have a lot of the same interests. We eat a lot of the same food, which means we like to share food and feed each other lots. One of his favorite things to do is tickle attacks, and also he likes to cuddle attacks. So those are really fun for me. I have to be really quiet because my uncle is sleeping right next to me. And also my other favorite toy is Tickle Me Elmo, because it reminds me of my uncle. We always play those games together. My first kiss was really, really wonderful. It was with my uncle. I just want to eat some apple strudels. And my uncle keeps making me eat wieners. My uncle taunted me about it, which is the mistletoe. Well, if someone walked in the room right now, you know who you are. He'd have to come kiss me. Thanks. All right.
Sorry.
Well, that's all right. It landed on my buns. I like them extra sticky. React to the video, don't touch me, I'm scared, which is a sentence I say a lot.
I have no words. I've seen some commentators out there make videos that I think are ridiculous against, like, Blippi, for example. I actually might make a video in the future about that, saying how it's like not funny and it's annoying. And sure, I'll give you that all day, but that content is not made for adults. It's absolutely made for children. So it might be annoying to adults because you're not the demographic they're going for. But this content, she makes the argument that it's PG-13, but it's just so, I struggle to see how anyone old enough to really process much information would find any of this funny.
What is your favorite holiday? Oh, hands down Christmas. You know why? Why? Because Santa's involved. Well, I do love Santa Claus. I like sitting on his lap. Who doesn't love a man with a beard who gives you toys? Who you don't know? Who has small people working for him? That's pretty similar to my uncle, so I really like him a lot.
But that's what she says. It does say PG-13 on her website. Although I will not say that a 13-year-old is by any means an adult that you can speak to about when they lost their virginity, for example. So let's get into her not apology. Again, I'm just going to point out that pause, ridiculous. Edit that first, 10 seconds out of your video. Unnecessary.
Hey, it's been a while since you saw my face. I haven't been doing so great, so I took a little break. So a lot of people are saying some things about me that aren't quite true. Doesn't matter if it's true though, just as long as it's entertaining to you.
So I hear this and my brain goes, okay, she's saying it's not true. How is she gonna counter it? And remember, I went into this being told it was a good video.
All aboard the toxic gossip train. You're chugging down the tracks of misinformation. The toxic gossip train. You got a one-way ticket to manipulation station.
Yeah, sure, it's catchy. But she's sitting there saying it's manipulation and it's toxic gossip, right? So that just means it's untrue. It's just a rumor spreading around. So I'm sure she'll get into why that is, right? She'll prove it wrong in some capacity.
Toxic gossip train. Tie me to the tracks and harass me for my past.
Tie me to the tracks and harass me for my past. So this is very, I'm the victim-esque. You're gonna run me over and you're harassing me. You're harassing me for my past. Not things I did in my past were wrong and I moved on from them and I've grown as a person, like the talking points you would expect from someone who is remorseful. Nope. She's getting harassed, guys.
These rumors look like facts if you don't mind the gaps. I won't survive in the crash, but hey, at least you're having fun.
Rumors look like facts when you don't mind the gaps. So all these things, all these rumors are untrue, right? They look like facts, but they're not because you're just ignoring all the gaps, which she's gonna fill in for you, right? No, she doesn't. She never does. She just sits there and says it's all rumors and lies. But hey, at least you're having fun. You know, you're ruining my life, but are you enjoying it? Because it's all for your entertainment, right? At my expense. My life is the one being harmed here, not anybody else. All these people that came forward, no, it's about me.
Even though my team has strongly advised me to not say what I want to say, I recently realized that they never said that I couldn't sing what I want to say. So.
That's so fucking stupid. I'm so sorry. Okay, Ariana Grande.
The doctor said you weren't supposed to talk.
He didn't say I couldn't say.
Like, if your team actually told you shouldn't say something, this is really dumb. You're literally not taking their advice. And if they did say you should say something, I doubt it would be what was in this video. But then again, if you really have a team, I find it hard to believe that maybe they weren't worked with on this and this is what you think is a great idea. Like, none of it makes sense. You know, it's easy to sit here and come up with possibilities because the possibility that she's proposing just absolutely cannot be true. There's no world in which her team said, don't say anything. And then she's like, okay, but I'm gonna sing it. And they're like, oh, yep, you got us there. Checkmate.
Today I only want to talk about the facts. So I hope that you'll be willing to listen.
Let's hear all the facts that debunk the screenshots that I showed before.
Many years ago, I used to message my fans, but not in a creepy way like a lot of you are trying to suggest. It was more of a loser kind of way.
No, it was creepy. It's not up to you to determine whether or not it's creepy. The people in the chat said that they felt like it was creepy. That's what I care about.
Where I was just trying to be besties with everybody. It's kind of like when you go to like a family gathering, you know, and there's a weird aunt there who keeps coming up to you and going like, hey girl, what's the tea? And you're like, ugh. That was me, but in group chats with my fans. It was weird.
I could maybe see this if you're the weird aunt that shows up to the kids and you're like, what's up guys? What kind of cool tunes are you listening to today? And hey guys, get anything super lit at Limited 2 at the mall that you shop at? That would be a weird like aunt trying to look cool. I don't really see how it applies when you're like, what's your favorite sexual position? And are you a virgin? And oh my gosh, tell me how you felt when you got your period and stick this tampon in your mouth. I'm not seeing how that isn't registering as absolutely creepy objectively. I think she'd be better off like admitting that like she's obviously, like I said earlier, got some sort of weird mental fixation on puberty. I don't know what it is or what happened to her in her life. I don't want to psychoanalyze too deeply because I feel like that's just not okay to do for anyone no matter what. But it just seems like there is something off to me to feel the need to constantly have these conversations, especially with kids. That might need to be something she dives into in therapy, but I do think I would genuinely believe her if she popped up on screen and said, I have some issues. That I thought that this was okay. You know, maybe there was no like sexual gratification for her in it. I'm not getting that vibe. I'm not getting like the predator vibe in like a sexual kind of a way. I get it more in like an exploitation of kids doing like work for you, or doing like your dirty work kind of a thing. I've heard that phrase used. But I am seeing like someone who is deeply disturbed and maybe didn't realize it at the time and now needs to make a sincere apology for that. Personal issue affecting others around her, and just awareness of that and a genuine apology would have done her a world of wonders. But sitting there saying I'm just like a weird aunt, lol, trying to be cool with friends, that's not it, sis.
I've been sharing my life online for over 15 years. I've poured my heart out to you, and because of that I feel like I'm talking to my friends, but in the beginning of my career, I didn't really understand that maybe there should be some boundaries there.
Okay, that's the first genuine thing I feel like I've heard. Yes, you felt like you were trying to make friends. Maybe there was something going on in your life that you didn't have like age-appropriate friends, or there was some, I'm trying really hard. It's hard not to psychoanalyze someone when allegations like this come out. So I'm trying to not toe the line on that too hard. But at least she said she didn't realize there should be boundaries there. Like, expand on that. Talk about that, because now if you have this new realization, be genuine about it, about what went wrong and what you've learned and how you're going to move forward. Sure, you're not going to get a round of applause, standing ovation, immediate acceptance and forgiveness from everyone, but at least it would save a little bit of just who you are as like a genuine person in the eyes of some people, and maybe in time it could be moved through. But when you take this hard stance where you dig your heels in and double down on everything, like that's never gonna happen.
There were times in the DMs when I would overshare details of my life, which was really weird of me. I haven't done that for years, you see, because I changed my behavior and I took accountability.
I'm struggling here to accept that there's been accountability, because this song is literally called The Toxic Gossip Train, where you're saying everything is a lie, that it's a rumor and it's not the truth. So is it or is it not? Did you do things that were inappropriate because there weren't boundaries there and you feel bad and you think it was weird, like you said? Or is it all a lie? Are you taking accountability, or are you saying it's all just a rumor? You can't sit there and say how accountable you are and how you've grown and how you've changed when you're literally sitting there with your ukulele singing this shit song.
But that's not very interesting, is it? So let's go on the toxic gossip train. The locomotive's fueled with hateful accusations.
Again, they're accusations. But I took accountability, guys.
The toxic gossip train steamroll over someone's reputation. Toxic gossip train. Hop on board but close your eyes, otherwise you'll realize that the train is made of lies.
Again, it's all a lie. This is such a just slap in the face to everybody who has come out with their stories. She's just saying they're all liars. And then the steamrolling over someone's reputation. I hate this argument. I see this a lot when someone is like outed for the terrible things that they're doing. Then they're trying to be the victim and saying, oh, well, my reputation's, I'm being attacked. It's like, your reputation is damaged because of the things that you did, not because you got caught and now people are talking about it. It's because you did those things. Didn't we just say we were being accountable?
And that person you despise maybe didn't deserve to die, but hey, at least you're having fun.
Like, I will agree that cancel culture, sometimes people don't, like she said, deserve to die in it. And it's interesting to me because I've seen this happen before, where someone responds really poorly to a situation and that's why they die, right? It's not so much because of the things that they've done, it's because of how poorly they handled those things and how unremorseful they may or may not have seemed. You know, I don't think this would have, I mean, who knows, maybe it's not even. People move past things all the time. I don't think I would have pinned this as the absolute end of her career had she addressed it like an adult. But clearly we've seen she doesn't know how to act like one.
In all seriousness, I do think it's really important to hold people accountable for their mistakes. You know, we should hope that everyone can learn from their mistakes and grow and change their behavior and be a better person. And this is something that I've always tried to do when I make mistakes, and it's something that I will continue to try to do. What? Oh, you don't care?
What if I do care? What if I wanted that to be the video of you genuinely saying those things and then doing them? I mean, it's like, you can't pretend like no one cares and just sit there. And the problem here is that she is trying to say, well, if I made a genuine apology video, I wouldn't be off the hook. And that is true. You're not going to, like I said, get a standing ovation and immediate forgiveness. People are not gonna just forget everything right away. That is normal and that's okay. Right? But that doesn't mean you can sit there and play it off like it's just all an attack on you and you're the victim and you're not going to really take accountability, even though you're saying you're taking account. You're obviously not. Yeah, it might feel like people don't care if you made a genuine apology video. I'm going to be real. I'm not going to sit here and say anything other than that, because I do believe that if a genuine, you know, string of words came out of her mouth that felt sincere, people would not be over it. But then maybe in time, you never know. But I feel like now I do know that there's no coming back from this, because this is so bad. You shouldn't apologize because of how good it's going to make you feel when everyone forgives you. You should apologize because you genuinely feel sorry for something.
Okay. I thought you wanted me to take accountability, but that's not the point of your mob mentality, is it? No. Your goal is to ruin the life of the person you despise while you dramatize your lies and monetize their demise. like I can already hear the comments on this video. She's gaslighting, manipulating. Oh, she's a narcissist.
Yeah, you are. Saying that that's what people are going to say is manipulative. It is.
And a rat. I would never make a mistake like that. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't realize that all of you are perfect, so please criticize me. Bring out the daggers made from your perfect past and stab me repeatedly in my bony little back.
I don't know why she thinks it's appropriate to say, oh yeah, you guys are all criticizing me for these things I've done, but you're not perfect either. Again, I thought she was Miss Accountability.
I'm sure you're disappointed in my shitty little song.
Yes, I am. I don't think I'm the only one.
I know you wanted me to say that I was 100% in the wrong. Well, I'm sorry. I'm not gonna take that route.
Of course you're not. Clearly. We can tell at this point. Yes, there is a place where you could sit there and take 100% accountability for the things that you've done. I don't see why that's a crazy thought. Why does that seem so like out there to her? Like, I can't believe you're gonna take responsibility for all of it? Like 100%?
Of admitting to lies and rumors that you made up for clout.
Oh, to admitting to lies and rumors that you made up for clout. That is so insulting to Adam and all the people that have come out about the things that they've gone through. Like, my biggest issue with this is like, you can't call things lies and rumors when there's so much evidence, right? There's videos and there's screenshots. Like, this isn't just word of mouth circulating. There are receipts. But no, we're not gonna talk about that, right?
Hey everybody, I found someone new to harass. She did some things that I do not like in her past. So everybody gather around, cause we're about to attack. But not based on facts, oh no.
Yes, it is based on facts. This is just, okay. If this were somebody else singing this song that they weren't under the spotlight at the moment for anything, and they were just talking about cancel culture, and this was like a anti-cancel culture thing, because I have seen people like canceled unnecessarily for things that were ridiculous. Like, I've seen that many, many times. This ain't it. This is actually really bad. The things that you've done were wildly inappropriate. There's something wrong with what happened. God forbid if a man had done the things that she did. If you think the response to Colleen is bad, just imagine. It would be a complete shit show.
Your loaded lethal weapon is your fingers on the keys. You don't need any armor when you can hide behind a screen. So shoot me down quick with a click and bam. My reputation's deceased.
Yeah, so this is the same thing as her saying, steamroll my reputation. This is just all about her. Woe is me. My reputation is gone because of you. Not because of what I did. It's your fault.
I also wanted to take a minute to talk about that girl, Miranda Sings. You know the one. Yeah, her. She's PG-13. It says that on my website, and it's always been that way. And that's why you won't find my videos on the YouTube Kids app, anyway.
Yeah, but you'll pull kids up on stage and spread their... I already made my point earlier about PG-13. Yes, that's what our website says. That's great and all, but 13 is still not someone you need to be discussing the things that you've been discussing with 13-year-olds about. And that wasn't Miranda, right? That was you.
I didn't realize it was my responsibility to decide what was appropriate for every kid to see. I've always relied on parents to decide if they're comfortable with their families watching my YouTube videos or coming to my live shows.
I think there needs to be some awareness on her end, though, that like if you see kids in your audience at your show, maybe don't call them up on stage. Just because it's PG-13 doesn't mean it's okay. I feel like I'm repeating myself. But I do think that there's a lot of validity in asking parents to monitor what their kids are watching. That is true. And the parents that I saw in the audience at those shows that were cheering and laughing just disturbs me. But it doesn't take her off the hook for doing it. It just doesn't. You can't sit there and be like, well, the parents should have taken better care of their kids that I pulled up on stage and had reach into my pants. Like, that's...
I can't believe I'm reaching in there right now.
I mean, you can see that that boy is a child. You can tell. There is a certain amount of control that you don't have when you're posting something online, right? You can market it to adults, but you can't control who clicks on your video. A kid could get a hold of their parents' phone or whatever, and you can't control that, but you can control what you do in live shows and who you message, like, directly. And let me just take this opportunity to say, I really hope that no kids are watching my videos. I'm very adult. If you're watching this on your parents' phone or something, stop, put it down, and don't watch me again ever. It's just not important, okay? Go watch Scooby-Doo. not this. My audience is like actually people in their 30s. That's my biggest demographic anyway, so I'm not too worried about it, but in case, right? I'm a mom. My kid's not gonna watch my videos. I'll tell you that much.
Now, have I made some jokes in poor taste? Yes. Have I made lots of dumb mistakes? Yes. Am I sad that there are some fans who feel betrayed? Yes. But was my intention to manipulate? No. It doesn't really matter what my intention was, because it seems as though everyone's already decided.
It's not that your intentions don't matter because everyone's decided. This is so frustrating, that just the lack of awareness. That's not why your intentions don't matter. It doesn't matter because the harm that you caused to the kids involved, regardless, that's why intentions don't matter. If you caused harm, whether or not you meant to, you still caused harm, and you should address that. Sure, malintent would make it worse, but you have to still take it seriously because you did cause harm. Just to sit there and say, sure, I made some jokes in poor taste. Yeah, I've done things wrong. I've made mistakes. Talk about that. Be a human. Show empathy. And you say you're sad that there are fans that feel betrayed, but are you? Because it really doesn't feel like it watching this video that you're sad about how your fans feel, right? You literally said that things were made for clout. So it's hard to just justify those two things simultaneously.
Let me tell you, it's not very fun to have millions of people all over the world call you the most vile, horrendous, disgusting, life-ruining words that a person can be called, in my opinion. It doesn't matter that these things aren't true. Everyone just believes that you are the type of person who manipulates and abuses children.
People are looking at the evidence and coming to that conclusion. It's not just believing word of mouth or a rumor. You have to address those things. You can't just sit there and call it all a lie and rumors. You have to address it. And she's not.
The only thing I've ever groomed is my 2 Persian cats. I'm not a groomer. I'm just a loser who didn't understand I shouldn't respond to fans, and I'm not a predator, even though a lot of you think so, because 5 years ago I made a fart joke.
Okay, so that's in reference to the yoga pose where the girl felt violated. She's just wrapping it all up and saying that's just a fart joke, which I remember 2 seconds ago her saying how she felt bad that fans were hurt. This is what I'm talking about. This is why I don't believe that.
So, even though I know this video won't change anyone's mind about me, I still felt it was important to come on here and defend myself a little and take accountability.
No, you didn't take accountability. We've really discussed this ad nauseum at this point. You just wanted to defend yourself. That's all it was. There was not accountability in this video. You just wanted to get defensive.
I never had any bad intentions. But I do feel like shit.
Do you? Do you feel like shit because you feel bad about the things you've done, or do you feel like shit because of the amount of hate that you're getting and opportunities that you're losing? Like, that's the question, right? When a video is made with this utter lack of sincerity, I really just feel like it's the traditional cliche of, well, you're sorry you got caught, not for what you did.
The toxic gossip train, chugging down the tracks of misinformation. Toxic gossip train, you got a one-way ticket to manipulation station.
I can't. I don't want to keep listening to this over and over again. Is she gonna say anything else?
Toxic gossip train, you tied me to the tracks and harassed me for my past. Rumors look like facts when you don't mind the gaps. I won't survive in the crash, but hey, I hope you had some fun.
At least you're having fun at my expense, watching this train crash that I won't survive. All is about me, woe is me, I am the victim. What are the gaps? Fill them in. And I hate to give unsolicited advice to someone like her, but in my PR brain, the only way I could see any small amount of redemption is if she made another video. And leave a comment and let me know if you think this is full of shit. But I think if she made a follow-up video being genuine and explaining why she had anger in this video, she might be smiling, but there is anger. There is a lot of anger behind all of this. Why are you angry? What are the gaps? If you could prove what the gaps are, if you could prove how some of this is misinformation and hone in on why that made you angry, yet simultaneously address and genuinely apologize with the utmost sincerity for the things that you have done without making yourself the victim, maybe. Maybe. But you would have to come with receipts and really prove why you felt entitled enough to make this horrible video. You'd have to prove it. You would have to fill in those gaps and acknowledge your mistakes and be genuine. That's the only way out of this shit. You'd have to apologize for this video and all the other stuff that you've done, and you'd have to rationalize why you thought this video was okay to make. And if there weren't a good, fucking really good reason, you're screwed other than that. Like, I cannot see someone recovering when they've done something like this.
Sometimes people make a mistake and it doesn't make them a horrible person. Whoa. Sometimes people can make a mistake and they're still a good person. Crazy, I know.
I'm still a good person, guys. You should still love me. Please don't be so mad that you don't love me again. I need you to love me.
Sometimes people can make a mistake and you don't have to take that mistake. Oh no, and twist it up and grind it and add some lies to it and pulverize it and stab it with knives and ruin a life.
And my life is ruined. You've ruined my life. But you guys you embellish the truth, right? And add some lies to it is the quote. Like, what are the lies? Like, this is what I'm saying. Like, you can't just say that without backing it up. You just cannot. No one's gonna believe you.
Sometimes people can make a mistake and you can kindly let them know and help them to grow.
People have been letting you know, though. This isn't totally new to her. She's had to go through and make apology videos before and was sort of canceled for some stuff before. And I'm sure that these people let her know in person and she ignored it. And now it's blown up to this huge thing because it wasn't handled properly to begin with. Like, I'm just not buying the woe is me train. That's what this should have been called. Not the toxic gossip train, the woe is me train, the I'm the victim train, the I'm still a good person train. I'm not getting on.
Mistake doesn't make them a terrible human. Just makes them a human. But what do I know? Fuck me, right?
What a lovely end to her video that was. Again, I don't see redemption after this unless she can be sincere, but I don't really have a whole lot of confidence that that can happen after having seen this. But what do I know? Fuck me, right? What a good closing statement. Leave that taste in everyone's mouth. Better than the taste of tampons though, right? Cotton. I can understand the feeling that people like to watch a train wreck crash and burn. That is a true thing. But just because that is true, because that can be true, doesn't mean you don't deserve it. Doesn't mean that you've done nothing wrong. Doesn't mean that you can just ignore everything and say, well, I'm a good person and I made a few mistakes, but everything that the people are saying, it's all a lie and gossip. It's all a rumor. Oh, but I'm taking accountability though. Ugh, guys, I gotta stop talking about it. Very frustrating. So let me know what your thoughts are in the comments section below. And let me know if you already knew about all the creepy stuff she'd been doing, because a lot of this was new to me. Like, I knew who Colleen was. I ran into her a few times at like events we were both at. We never really had a conversation, but I saw her in the same room and I knew who she was because of mutual, people or whatever we would interact with. And I really never knew much about her beyond her internet presence, but I didn't watch her videos because I didn't think they were funny because I thought they were for kids. I guess they weren't. But again, fuck me, what do I know? I'm gonna end this rant. Thank you for watching. Please like this video if you liked it. Really, seriously, likes do help a lot in the algorithm. YouTube flagged my channel or something as horrible because I say I don't like people who are fundamentalists. So likes help a lot. Comments in the comment section below help a lot. And of course, subscribe if you have not already. That would mean a lot to me. A lot. I keep saying a lot. Anyway, I'm gonna go. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye. Psh.